Hello and welcome back to the Lady Sews. I thought I'd do a very quick update on my onions. I sowed them quite some time ago now. When did I sow them? 15th of October. This is now the 8th of January, I think. Anyway, this leaf is getting in my way. I've picked out the top 8 of my onions to pot on, which I'm going to be potting on into 5-inch or 12.7 centimetre pots. Excuse me. I don't have any square ones this size, so they're going from square to round. I've had to bring this in from the garage to work with because the little trays that I've been using before is busy doing something else. What I wanted to show you though was the difference, because you may remember that at the beginning, after I potted them up, I'd separated them into grade 1 and grade 2 onions. And I just thought I would show you the difference between a grade 1 that I've got now and a grade 2, because what's been very interesting is the fact that the grade 1 onions, for the most part, are still doing very well. And out of this latest cut, as it were, I think I've only got one. Have I got one grade 2? That one isn't one. No, I don't think I've got a single grade 2 amongst them that is going on to the next phase. So I just thought I'd show the difference. So this is one of the grade 1 ones, the one that's been smacking me in the face. If I could bring it closer to the camera, you can see this stem here is my finger. And there's a grade 2 one. And look how much smaller that is. If I put that there, if I put a pencil in there so that you can see just how much smaller that is by comparison to that one, which is much, much thicker. So needless to say, this is not getting potted on. I've got 8, which I'm going to pot on. I'll put that down there. So move this out of the way. I started off with the usual mixture of 2 parts sifted multi-purpose compost to 1 part vermiculite. And I've then added a pot this size of sieved homemade compost to this batch that I've got here. And I've also added 1 teaspoon of organic onion fertiliser. Not sure if it's going to make any difference because, to be honest, I haven't a clue what I'm doing. But I am going to pot these onions up. I've had a little bit of tip burn. This onion is still determined to be the star of the show, isn't it? Because I lowered the grow lights because I put something else in the grow tent along with these, which were quite small plants, but they became a bit leggy, so I've had to move them to somewhere else where I've got grow lights. And I think these have got a bit warm, so I've raised the grow lights back up. They're right at the top now. I can't actually get them any higher, but the grow tent is 4 foot high. So hopefully, and these are more or less on the ground. So hopefully I've now got a good foot, probably more than that above, because the grow light itself is probably about that deep. So it's probably, I've got a good foot, maybe 14 inches now above the lights. And hopefully that will help some of the tip burn. I'm not going to cut them off because onions are hollow tubed, and what I don't want to do is introduce any disease into them. But I haven't been looking after them very well, I'll be quite honest about that, because the leaves are all bent over. So because it's quite, where I've got them, it's actually, apart from watering them, it's actually quite difficult to get them in and out because they're in the conservatory and we do not have a lot of space in there. But all my husband's pelargoniums are in there as well, so I've got to climb over things to get at it. So without further ado, I'm going to pot up. I have looked at some of the root systems in these. So let's have a quick look at the root system. If I get this one out, if I'm tall enough. Oh, it's got a tremendous root system on it, look. Probably should have been potted up a couple of weeks ago. So that's an absolutely excellent root system. Probably accounts for why I'm having to water them so often, because it's used up most of the compost. It's got a real oniony smell. So I'm going to put that one there. So get the pot. That just sits on it nicely. So I'm going to put a bit of compost in the bottom till it reaches the bottom, yeah. And then fill it up around the outside. Hopefully this will work. It's going in the pot as well, but that's all right because that's going to come out. It's not a huge amount of, it's not going to be a huge amount of additional compost that's going in there. So, but I only want it to last for, I'll pop them on again into, I've got some even bigger pots than these. It's just space now because it's far too cold for them to be outside. Anybody who lives in the UK at the moment, and as I say, knows that we've had some pretty horrendous weather in certain parts of the country. Scotland has had it absolutely, it's been absolutely horrendous for Scotland. Here where we live in South Yorkshire, we're probably going to get snow this afternoon, early evening, with the latest storm, or the first storm of 2026. The ones that I when I potted them on into this size pot, the ones that I didn't put on, I put in the greenhouse, which is unheated and is north facing. So it doesn't get any sun at this time of the year. And I have to be really honest with you, they are looking decidedly hacked off. In fact, I'm not sure they're going to survive. So although these onions that I've rejected are not as good as these ones that I've kept, I don't actually want to lose them because I still would like to plant them out. I don't know if I've got enough. I think I've got enough pots to pot them on, to put them somewhere else. At the moment, I've got no idea where that somewhere else will be. And so let's take this pot out. Hopefully I've got a hole there that I can slot this onion in. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? It doesn't want to go in, so I'll go in there. Let's flatten it, squeeze it up a bit. Technically that should fit in there because it came out of there. It should fit in that hole. Oh yeah, just encourage it a little bit. So, and then I've got to sort these clips out. I found them, they break quite easily, the end bits on these clips. Perhaps I'm a bit too cack-handed with it. I don't know what you do once they grow above this. I don't know if I can get them up a bit higher. Just to try and stop it from bending too much, and then I'll move this one up a bit to hold those in place. So anyway, that looks a bit better. Right, so that's one done. 2, 4, 6, 8 to go. Oh, there was 9 I've got in total. So yeah, so they were potted, they were pricked out on the 31st. They were potted into this size pot on the 22nd of October. 26th of November, sorry. So this is now the 8th of January. And that's them gone into these 5-inch pots. I don't know how long they'll be in there because they seem to be growing really, really vigorously. So I'm going to go get on and pot the rest of these up, and I'll come back and see you shortly. Right, so I've potted these all up now into these bigger pots, and they will be going under the grow lights. I forgot to say at the beginning of the video, for those that are new, that this is these are giant onions for the Giant Onion Challenge using Foster's Elsay seed, which is being hosted by Pete Trenuth down in Cornwall. I did have, as it turns out, I did choose one that was from the second grade, but the rest are all first grade. And this one here, I think, is my best one. It's got the fattest stem on it. A few dead leaves on it, but so they're all going to go back under the under the grow lights. The other ones I am going to pot on, but then just not going to go under the grow lights because, well, to be honest, I haven't got the space. But anyway, thanks ever so much for watching. I'll be back in a few weeks, hopefully, to give you another update as to how these... I don't know what you do with these leaves once they get so big and floppy. There must be something, but I'll have to... I'm sure someone will tell me. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you again another time. Bye for now.